Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Whiteboard Reactions here, coming back with another reactional video. Now, today we're once again taking a dive into the World of Warcraft universe. This is another Shadowlands Afterlife, and this one's Ardenweald. I think I'm saying that right. You guys can let me know if that's wrong. Now, we have been reacting to a few of these recently, and it's been really, really fun. Now, before we actually get into it, I just want to quickly say it's quite hard to talk and analyze the cinematography effect because it's virtually all the same. So we're probably just going to watch for it, enjoy it, have a nice sit back and relax. These are not too in depth, which is really nice actually, because when there's too much to too much to talk about, I can't get into it and I have to speak about it. But that's what we're going to be doing today, guys. So I just want to say at the start, without further ado, no more talking. We have 6 minutes and 20 seconds to work with. Let's get to it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Tremble before my fury! The nightmare's veil is lifted. I return at last to the long slumber. To the great forest.
Man, that freaking went in to start off with. Holy moly.
Till I may serve the wilds again.
Oh, that was a really good intro.
Welcome to my grove, friend. My queen, I shall protect these souls through their winter. I shall see them reborn in their spring, no matter what trial I face. I swear it, my queen. I swear it. Rest well and dream. Season after season of this drought. Here. It's so little, I know.
Must be done. Reclaim everything from this grove. Everything.
No! This is my grove! You will not destroy them!
Arelon, we are not your enemy.
Anyone who threatens my grove is my enemy. I swore an oath. My queen. I kept faith all this time that you would save us. And now you send scavengers to my grove? Why?
Why?
You saw what is to come.
Ardenweald.
It must be saved. The queen is called the Wild Hunt.
We have culled your grove so that others might live.
Will you sacrifice one soul for the forest entire? Or will you keep your oath?
Your heart is pure. I will honor your choice.
Man, this is intense.
One last time, you serve the wilds. You will not be forgotten. Forgive me, friend.
I've actually got goosebumps up my back. I'm not joking.
I will hunt for you, my queen. For Ardenweald, and for the
Ardenweald.
souls we can yet save. I swear it. I swear it.
Was that it? Well, I was. You know what? I was really getting into it till the end. Okay, I actually thought that this bear was gonna come out like all the other ones. It seems to be there's like good and bad. Well, this one's just kind of just one way. Now, I quite like I've always liked like mythical creatures, like the animalistic side of things of like mythical creatures when it comes to these sort of mythical universes. It's always been my favorite part. It's like the way they live and it's all like very tranquil, like the elves and stuff. It's always been that sort of area. It's probably my favorite out of everything. Yeah, so I was hoping like that thing was gonna come out and he was gonna fight back because he didn't want his soul to be lost. But then it kind of didn't, so I'm a bit confused. It just seems to be one way at the minute. So I'm trying. I kind of want to know why the forest is dying. If there's a reason for it, is that because of this? Remember in the Bastion one when they chucked the guy back into that hell place of darkness? Is that destroying it? I don't know. So let's get through the video. So obviously it starts out quite brutal. So obviously he was fighting, saying he was a bear of some kind, and then he was fighting maybe other bears or something. But it was like because obviously they're beasts and they're quite like they're like the war beasts, and they're like they're like the sort of tranquil beasts. Maybe when they're sort of at home and they're quite peaceful that they are, but it started off in that very beast-like sort of cinematography. So that was a nice piece of cinematography. You had the claws swiping, and you had the faces and swiping, the red and the orange and yellow. It was like kind of all that color and sounds and these different scenes pictured together create this animalistic sort of cinematography, which is quite nice. And then he kind of falls, and again, it's that sort of it's what we said in the previous two videos where the intro starts when they die because his name's Afterlife. So I really like that idea, and they've been obviously very good with that stuff. So in this place again, now we did do a video of the orcs and these sort of people, and you guys did mention in the comments what these people are, but I've completely forgot because it has been a little while since I've read them, so I have to go back and check them out again. But I said it had the owls, didn't it? It had the owls, and he was like a bear or something, and they can like shape shift sort of thing, which is pretty cool. So I don't know if that's the same guy we saw. It doesn't look like it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So obviously he goes in now. This is what I really like. Usually by this point, this is where the intro comes up, but it didn't. It came like. See, I mean that's beautiful. I mean, if this was a real life place, wouldn't mind living there. No joke. And then obviously his souls come from. I don't think it's coming from this tree, but it's coming from this. But as you can see, there's a tree here. But he says like these discs sort of ones. This is like just a standard tree. There's like discs sort of one holds like the portal or like the sort of tether, I guess you could say, between like a ferry almost. So I don't know if it's a portal that they go through. Or it's just sort of like where the souls go, and then the tree just transports it down, which I really like the idea. But it seems to be the only circular ones. You got obviously the grand tree is what the people call it, don't they? Then you have these little like worker trees, I guess you could say. So that was cool. And then his soul came down, and it was brilliant because it went in to this like orb, and then it comes up Afterlife, and he didn't even call it. He said Afterlife. Obviously, grand music as always. And then Ardenweald, and you guys might not obviously think of anything like this, but I've kind of seen it as it's quite a peaceful touch in terms of cinematography. So obviously his soul is tranquil, is slowly. Obviously you have this guy who's actually relatively sad, but again it's peaceful. He seems to be one with nature. It's that sort of thing, and it's really nice sort of aurora, peaceful, tranquil sort of aurora. He's like he's home, and again he looks like he's asleep. Obviously he's dead, and his soul's being put into this orb thing, which I take is like the heaven. And then it glows, and I think it's like one of those things where if they put their souls into these sacks, or they're sort of like a dormant sort of state, ain't they? Because he said I could return to serve again. So, and I think that the land, because obviously you got the roots here and stuff, and there's things like, I think these are just leaves or vines or something. They live off that. This is like the soul essence, and that's why they were extracting the essence from. They extracted from some graves. But the question is, why do they have to do that? Because at the start, I mean, this whole land, this whole place, has a starry, beautiful night. You've got like a baby blue or like turquoise sort of blue. It's a very elegant purple. It's really nice. So why is it? Why is that happening? That's the big question. So obviously it happens. He goes through, and then he's like the gatekeeper, and he's like the Grim Reaper of sorts, but more in the sense he's like a protector of the land to make sure that also he's not necessarily a Grim Reaper. I guess that's kind of wrong actually. Because Grim Reaper ferry the souls up or down, don't they? That's the whole point of the Grim Reaper, where these are like the protectors of those sort of places. So he's like an angel or a demon, if you're talking about heaven or hell. So he's quite like a protector. I quite like it. He seems to be like one of those guys that is devoted his whole entire life to this sort of role that he's been tasked with from his queen. Obviously, a queen comes along. They're always taller, innit? Always taller. And you always find that most of the most powerful figures. Now, I want to state this point. Okay, it's quite an important point. Most of the big figures in this, like the leaders, the queens, whatever you want to call it, baronesses in the last one, are all women. It's quite cool. And it's actually quite interesting because that is derived from real life. You know, you look throughout history, the greatest leaders were actually women. You had Cleopatra, and you had loads of really powerful women. You have the Queen of England, of course. So I really like that sort of touch of cinematography because it symbolizes actually how powerful the woman's spirit is. Now again, some people who doesn't really like that, they will say, oh, this, that, and the other. But no, it's actually very nice and actually relatively true as well. So that's quite a nice touch. I mean, she looks very elegant, and her eyes are glowing, which is really cool. So I really like it. I quite like the aurora it's giving. So obviously she goes away, and he just does his routes, and then it switches. So it goes from like this was like a memory, and look at this. Look what fades out last. That fades out last. Everything else is faded out. Why? Because again, this is the essence of the land, and everything else is dying out. But this is the one thing keeping it going. Obviously, he goes along. He's still going, and for some reason, he said the autumn has come or something like that. I don't know why. And these sort of like refillable. This is like the water, I guess. But I don't really know what's happening. That's what I want to know the most. And obviously, he calls them savages. I guess these are like the harvesters. And I think doing this is like beyond disrespectful. Like, it takes racism to a whole new level. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, these sort of people, like, he takes that bad, bro. And I don't blame him. I mean, that's life work right there. And the weird thing is, look at this. Goes from really tranquil blue, the essence of the soul. When he goes into fight mode, turns all into red again. It's that symbolization of the beast inside, which I quite like. He's like a half goat sort of guy. He looks like, remind me of one of those things out of Narnia. I can't remember what they're called now. You guys maybe let me know in the comments. And then he goes, we ain't your enemy. And then he basically says what he did. So he has got a dark side, and the queen approaches. And again, they all look a bit different. They all look like crooked and wood. That makes sense. Even he does. They were all blue. They were tranquil. And again, I think their life force comes from the land as well. From the souls ferried from the other side. Their eyes are still blue though, which is cool. Their eyes are sick. And obviously she gives him the gift of foresight, I guess you could say. But then could this be a trick? Who knows? I take it this queen is quite powerful. She has a lot of powers. She doesn't seem to speak much. And when she does speak, it's that sort of deep, heavenly sort of voice. It's that tranquil. It's that very echoey. And again, it just symbolizes that power. And obviously, obviously the servants are more, what's the word I'm trying to think of? They're more like the ant colony. Do you know, like the ant controls the queen controls the ants. I guess it's something like that. I don't really know how to word it. I think I might be wording that a little bit wrong. But anyway, you guys know the kind of idea of what I'm trying to get at. Now, this is obviously quite nice. You have this shot of his ears. I don't know why his ears mainly, but it's actually his eyes, half his face, and then the other half is the last remaining soul. And he has to make like a choice. And I actually kind of fit at this bit that this bit, see, I was a bit confused because I thought the queen was bad. But the way she looks, and obviously her eyes, usually there's different differences. Obviously, they look a bit different color, but I think that's because the land is not glowing. And obviously, if you go into a room with very bright lights, your skin's going to turn like blue or whatever the color is. So I think that's why they look a bit pale, or it could be because their life essence is fading and they need to protect the land. Okay, it's kind of like that task of if the land dies, you die sort of thing. But I actually thought she was bad because she'd done this, but actually she looks genuine. And then she says in his head that your heart is pure, so whatever his decision is, I respect. And that kind of made sure that, right, it's not her then. So I want to know what's going on. So obviously he had to make a decision, and it's quite nice that there's this sort of like, it starts off like this, they've harvested all of this, but this one, because he kind of put it there himself, as much as he probably put the other ones there, obviously this is the story, this is what we've been shown with. So it's quite powerful, and obviously he decides to, and then he goes friend, and then it dies out. But I think you can hear like the growl, like, and he goes, ooh. So like it's as the light is fading out, it's a very nice sort of cinematography effect there. And then it, obviously he's kind of obviously feeling back, it's their responsibility, but he knows what the bigger picture is. So they head off, and then he goes here. And then I thought he was like going to come out or something, but then as soon as I saw the face, it kind of ends with the face, doesn't it, all the time for some reason. And then boom. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. I want to know what happens, to be honest. Now, there has been one that recently got released. If I actually have a look real quick, it's this one. It is this one. So we've got Revendrift, I think that's how you say it. Revendrift or something like that. Which came out a day ago. So it seems to be coming out each week, and hopefully there's much more to come. But that's it, guys. That's it for me today. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and comment. Please add anything down in the comments if I've missed anything, you know, because I am human. I miss things, and you guys might pick it up and just complete it for us. So that's what we want to do here at White Boy. And I appreciate all you guys' comments and commitment as well. It's a great thing. It's a great thing to do. I say this every video, and I'll continue to say this every video. Okay, whether you like it or not, suckers. But yeah, guys, that's it for me today. I appreciate your guys' time. Staying with me through to the end. And also, I just almost forgot, and I forgot to do it in the previous video. I'm going to do it in this video. Thank you, everyone. We've just hit over 50 subscribers. This is absolutely crazy. And again, I say this as well. You know, 1.5 million here. People say, oh, that's not a lot. I started off this channel with just 2 or 1 or 2, and now we've gone to 50. So I appreciate every single one of you subbing. Everyone that likes it, everyone that comments, or just come and watch, just in general. Don't even have to do all that stuff. That's entirely your choice. I just appreciate you guys having fun and enjoying yourself and coming along with my journey of analyzation, because I know it's magnificent. No, but guys, I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But this is White Boy Reactions. Sign off this video. Until next one, guys, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later. Take care. Peace out.